Let's do a little bit of comparison on what you can expect when you are either shopping for the new Fiio FD1, the T2 Plus from TinHifi, or the old OG Big Boss Blon BL-03. Now, in terms of what you're getting in a box or outrightly versus the three, you are gonna get the best value buying the FD1. The FD1 has the best packaging out of the entire three. You are getting a fantastic magnetic case. You're getting a manual. All these things really matter. A lot of people don't talk about packaging when they review their stuff. And it's terrible, honestly, when you don't talk about packaging. Packaging really matters. What comes in the box. And FD1 from Fiio is the clear winner, especially if you're looking for the best value in terms of what you're getting in the box for the price. You're getting seven pairs of tips, 3 pairs of balance tips, 3 pairs of base tips, and one pair of foams. So you're getting a fantastic setup box, and you can as well buy it with a balance cable, because if you're using the link I will drop for you guys in the description, you'll see that you can as well buy it with an extra balance cable just for I think $15 more. You just get an extra cable, which is fantastic. Now then you will now have not only the 3.5 default cable, you can as well get it with another balanced 2.5mm cable, which is fantastic. Why the TinHifi T2, you're only getting 3 pairs of tips. Its connector is MMCX. I'll get to that next. And that's pretty much it. The cable is quite okay. The cable is pretty much okay. You're getting a really nice cable with the T2 Plus as well. Now, as for the Blon BL-03, the thing there is that packaging for the BL-03 is zero. Honestly, the cable is trash, absolute garbage. The packaging has next to nothing on it. It's just a white box. The tips are trash. You're pretty much going to throw away the tips and find new tips. So more or less, it's like you're just buying the shell or the IEMs, more or less. It's almost like the Blon should have just put the IEMs and wrote to all their customers, you know what, buy your own cable, buy your own tips, because with what comes in the Blons, it gets a 0 mark from me. Now, in terms of the next thing, longevity and durability, I can't say for certain for the T2 and the FD1 because they are a new product, but judging by the company's track record, I would say the Fiio would outlast either of the two. And the reason why I say that is that Fiio has a very good quality control system on their product. They take care of their products, even the IEMs that come with MMCX. Not a lot of people complain of Fiio's IEMs breaking out on them. There are some cases I've seen here and there on the internet, but many cases they don't happen. Now, on the new FD1, they are using 2-pin 0.78 connectors, and with that already, you're going to get a very long-lasting IEM. I'm very positive of that. So I'll probably give number 1 to the FD1 for longevity. Number 2 would be to the T2 Plus. And the reason why I may pick the T2 Plus to the Blon is the fact that I already have a broken Blon. A Blon that I had not even used for 3 months that I got it. 1 ear has stopped working, and yes, I came back and I made a video recently saying that it's working, but the truth of the matter is that it stopped working again. So it's pretty much a bad set. I've gone around the internet to see a lot of people complaining of variancy in their sets. A lot of people have said their sets have been broken, but they don't want to complain because it's an affordable IEM and they can afford to buy multiple of the IEM. So you can't see anybody coming to complain on the internet. But if it was an IEM that cost over $100, trust me, a lot of people will bitch about it on the internet. So it's not what it is. So in terms of longevity, I give it to the FD1, give T2 second. Now, the problem I have with MMCX connectors on cheap IEMs is that they don't build them well. So take this ranking with a grain of salt for the T2, because I am not even sure that that can last, because MMCX connectors are trash, absolute garbage. I don't even know why TinHifi went with that connector. They could have easily gone with a 2-pin connector and they would have been fine, and they wouldn't even have any issue, because right now they may be faced with the same challenge that the Urban Phones had with their crappy earphone that they released, and the YBF had MMCX with it. So that's pretty much that for longevity. Now, in terms of design and an aesthetics, easily is the FD1. The FD1 looks more beautiful than the other two, looks more presentable, and you can gift anybody the FD1 and they'll be fine with it because it looks fantastic. The IEM looks very beautiful, looks amazing, and works very well for most usages. As for the T2 and the Blon, the look, I will give it to the Blon. I prefer the Blon's look to the T2. The Blon is way better, especially if you're looking at just if you're gifting someone the Blon looks far better than the T2. The T2 looks ghetto. The T2 doesn't really look like a really well thought out IEM. I think they just went out to design the IEM. They copied the Urban Phone and Blon's look and they made their own shell look similar to that, but their wonky design to it made it look quite ugly. Honestly, I honestly feel it is an ugly looking IEM. I really wouldn't gift anybody the T2 Plus. It looks quite hideous in my opinion. In terms of sound, this will be a very subjective thing because a lot of people like warm signature, a lot of people like bright signature, then a lot of people like balanced signature that does not lean on any frequency or any frequency that is dominating the other. Now, in terms of the frequency response for each of them, the Fiio FD1 is more balanced V-shaped with an emphasis on a little bit more treble with a great amount of bass. The T2 Plus is much more V-shaped with a tilt towards the bass more than the treble, while the Blon is a typical V to U shaped signature with a more emphasis to the bass than any other frequency out there. Now, a lot of people will be happy with the Blons. The reason why is that it has a very warm signature to it. It has muddy signature sound to it. The thing there is that the Blon ticks most boxes for most people. It is quite convenient for you to wear the Blon for hours and listen and not feel fatigued, unlike the FD1. The FD1 has a bit of a tilt to the brighter side, and what that does is that it gives you a sense of air, a sense of space. The FD1 has the biggest sound stage than these other two, so the frequency response on the FD1 gives it the ability to really push the full capability of the beryllium coated plated driver in it to its maximum limit. Now, there are some people that may not like that signature because it becomes a little bit analytical while still giving you a lot of fun. A lot of people like that wet, dry, no, not dry, but wet, warm muddy, I wouldn't really call it too muddy, but more or less muddy, boomy sound that the blondes present. And that is what you can get in a refined version from the T2s. The T2s will give you that refinement because the T2 cuts down on the bass, while still giving you a decent amount of treble, but not spiking it in such a way that it gives you fatigue or makes you feel discomfort wearing it for a long time. In terms of overall for movies and gaming, I would probably say the FD1 would be great for movies because movies generally require good bass and a ton of very, very good high frequencies that give you a ton of sound stage. And it is very important, especially if you need it for gaming, because you got to consider that you need sound stage for movies and games. Everything does not begin and end in music. A lot of reviewers come out and say, oh yeah, it doesn't play my library well, it does not do this well, because they are judging it based on music. They don't judge it based on the real world scenario. They don't talk about what it can do when you are playing a content. How does it play vocals when you're actually listening to a podcast, watching movies, playing games with it, and probably even producing your own content, more or less, like your own soundtracks and all that. How does it behave in that scenario? Everything does not start and end in having good bass or having good treble or having good mids. It has to do with a balance for everything that one uses it in their daily lives. So I would probably say the FD1 is great for movies and games, followed by the T2 and the Blondes. I am not a big fan of the Blondes. I understand it's a very popular set. I like my Blondes while it worked. I am not just a big fan of that sound. Now, I may have a variant set, but to be honest, I'm not a big fan of the Blonde sound, even though I'm a bass head. Now, I need to make something clear, guys. I'm a bass head. I love bass, but I like clean bass. I don't like overwhelming, uncontrolled bass that does not really give you that sense of being organic, or like the artist intended. The Blonde has bass, but the Blonde has uncontrolled bass bloat, and that bass bloat affects it in everything that I listen to, both movies and music. To a large extent, I even prefer a KZ AS12 over the Blondes, and that is a balanced Armature multi-hybrid. And honestly, I shouldn't even be comparing a multi-hybrid to a dynamic driver, but here we are, guys. I would suggest you go for the FD1 if you want movies and gaming. Now, if you're talking of music, the Blondes are very good for music. I would probably still pick the FD1 first for music. And I'll probably keep the Blonde and the FD1 together for music. The reason why is that a lot of people may like the Blondes more because it has a very warm sound and they can listen to it for hours, while a lot of people may like the brighter signature of the FD1 and they may not be keen on that excessive bass that the Blonde offers. So if you are in that niche, you probably go for the FD1. The reason why the T2 Plus will stay at the last is the fact that it is a refined version of the Blondes. What it means is that it doesn't have the same bass level of impact as the Blondes, and it is not critically better than the Blondes in most other departments, maybe say for the mids. So the treble is not better. The mids are pretty much where it shines. So if the bass on the Blonde is better, if the treble on the Blonde is equal to the T2s, I feel the Blondes are pretty much better than the T2 Plus. So you can either get the FD1 or the Blon BL-03 for either your music or movies if you really want something. I personally would choose the FD1, but I know these are affordable IEMs right now. The Blon BL-03 is about $30. The FD1 is around $60 to $80. If you use the link in the description, you can buy with a balanced cable for around $90 on AliExpress, and I'll suggest you do that so you can have multiple connections for your music player and get the best out of your FD1. That's pretty much it for the comparison. My choice is FD1 number 1, the Blon 03 number 2, and the T2 Plus number 3. The ones I would rec to anyone would be the FD1 and the Blons. I wouldn't rec the T2s. The T2s sound very good. They are pretty much like the Blons, but I hate MMCX connector. The T2s look ugly to my eyes, and I don't feel the T2 will have that longevity like the other two sets. Even though my Blons have gone bad in 3 months that I've owned it, I still feel that other variant sets that other people own would still outlast most of the T2s. I may be wrong. That's subjective. Longevity is a subjective thing, but that's pretty much it, guys. You can follow the links. All the products are there. You go purchase it, and they ship worldwide, and you'll be fine, guys. Make sure you follow us on social media, subscribe to our channel, like our content, and I'll see you guys next time.